Om Sri Sai Ram. Hearty welcome to Sri Satya Sai Lok Siva Gurukulam science class. It's a very important topic called energy, sources of energy. We are also bubbling with the energy, right? If you had a breakfast or a lunch or even supper, you get energy. And that energy is very important. The whole universe is filled with energy, matter and energy. So physics is that branch of science which deals with the matter and energy. So what we know about energy? First of all, we should know what is meant by energy. The capacity to do work is called as energy. From morning till night, you just list out what all the activities you do. Starting with doing prayers after getting up, then brushing, then taking bath, preparing lessons, eating food, going to classes, evening play, games, and up to sleeping. We do a lot of services, right? All these need energy, right? Some of the energy what you are using, you will be knowing it. Some of it you experience it. And some of the energy you can see it outside. For example, when the wind blows, the leaves of the tree vibrates. Similarly, when the wind blows, the windmill rotates. And we see huge group of birds flying, the water flowing, sun coming up, rain falling, all this. We see a lot of energy, flow of energy from one place to another. And we have studied in your previous classes the different kinds of energy. Can you name some of them? The first and the foremost, what we use is called as muscular energy. To read, write, to walk, to jump, all this, to do all activities with the body. We call it as muscular energy. Then we have solar energy, energy from the sun. Sun is the source of all energies, right? Especially in the planets like Earth. Without sun, no activity will take place. So sun is a source. And also you heard about nuclear energy. And also, heat energy, very common experience. If you just brush your hands, you get heat, right? Similarly, the most common and most important, what we call it as electrical energy. This is a very common thing and very essential for our daily life. Also, because of electricity, we have light energy. All the bulbs are glowing, and what you see is got light energy. And I am teaching now, you are hearing. Is it not? What is that energy called? That is called sound energy. So there are different kinds of energies, and this energy is used for different purposes: walking, talking, running, playing, cleaning, production of electricity, is not, for farming. So there are tremendous uses of energy. And how do you measure it? You measure in terms of joules. Why you call it as joules? Named after the scientist who discovered the unit of energy, that is called joule. And also we have seen in previous classes that there are two types of energy. One which gets depleted, gets exhausted shortly. They are called non-renewable energy. Renewable are the source of energy which can be regenerated. For example, solar energy is renewable. Continuously it is coming up. And wind energy, tidal energy, and so on. Coming to non-renewable, you have fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? The coal, petroleum, and natural gas are called as fossil fuels, and they are limited. And it is said that about 30 to 35 years, all this petrol and diesel will come to a full stop. So what is the solution next? That you have to think of. You are budding scientist. You want to think of different sources of energy by which we can run the machines. And I also have studied about conservation of energy. What is conservation of energy? Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. Energy can be converted from one form to another. That is what is called as conservation of energy. This was a very important concept which I already studied. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed. For example, if you have electric energy, it can be converted into heat energy. You see in the heaters, boilers, and so on. Lights can be seen. So one form is converted into another form. So this is something what you have studied in the previous class. And now let us study something new on this topic, and something may be repetition. Anyway, it is a very interesting topic and very simple topic which all of you can remember easily. So energy is defined as the ability to do work. What is work? You have already studied in the previous class. The product of force and displacement. That is called work. Applying some force, if there is a displacement of a body, we say work is done. For example, the book is kept on the table. It will be there for hundreds of years unless you lift it up. If you lift it up and keep it in another place, we say work has done. Work has been done. Is it not? So you are cleaning a room. You take a broom and nicely push off all the dust, all the papers and so on, right? So what has been done? There is a change of place. So how it happens? Because of applying force. And this energy is required for all actions of our day-to-day activities. We find countless examples of where energy is used to do work. Almost for all types of activities, we rely on one or other form of energy. It is not only for human beings, it applies to animals also, birds also. For example, when the wind is blowing, we find with the help of energy it shakes the trees. What happens? The leaves will start vibrating. The fruits sometimes fall down. Is it not? So all this is possible because of the wind blowing. And how does the wind blow? Wind blows from a higher pressure, from a point of higher pressure to lower pressure. Is it not? Now we find wind flowing from western direction to eastern direction. In the west coast there are heavy rains. When heavy rains is on the west coast, there will be a lot of wind that flows towards the east. Similarly, in the month of September, October, November, etc., there will be rains in the east coast, and wind blows from east to west. So it moves from higher pressure to lower pressure. So blowing of wind. And also you have seen engines. Energy is required for the engines to work with the help of a fuel. When you say fuel, it will be either diesel or petrol. But now they have found out cars which move with solar energy. Is it not? So engine runs out of, uses energy for the movement. Also you have seen the heavy flow of water can break the banks of rivers as it has energy, especially rainy seasons. You might have heard about floods. And how do the floods come? When there is a sudden rise in the level of water and it rushes to its banks, and all the banks will be covered with water. And especially in rainy season, it's an enjoyable thing where you can see rivers overflowing. That is due to, again, energy. Huge amount of energy being used of. So this is one example of heavy winds. Especially in the coastal area, there will be this is a common experience. There will be a huge current of wind blowing. Similarly, water flowing. It is a falls. I think you might have seen the beautiful falls in Jog. If you are not seen, go and visit once near Shimoga. Very beautiful. Similarly, you have Gokak Falls. So many falls are there in India and outside. Niagara Falls is the biggest falls in the world. And the falls will flow lot of energy there. Bharat Ratna Dr. M. Vishwesvaraya, when he had been to Jog, he found that lot of energy is being wasted. He said, what a colossal wastage of energy, he said. So, lot of waste of energy. That's how the scientists, engineers think of this. Immediately thought of putting a dam there. And you might have heard about Linganamaki Dam, which gives a lot of electricity to our state. Most of the areas of the state is covered by the electricity produced from Linganamaki Dam. So, by putting dam, this energy can be made use of for a good purpose. You can make it into canals and send it to the different places, or you can produce electricity like that, is it not? And also this is an example of the car engine. Here the chemical energy, that is what is called as petrol or diesel, is made use of. That is converted into mechanical energy. The tires need to rotate. When you put a brake, the speed of the vehicle comes down. All this. So this is what you see inside a automobile, especially a car or even bus also. There are two types of engines. One is called petrol engine, another is called as diesel engine. And there are different strokes also for the engines. So these are all where energy is being made use of. And also we are seeing every day wood. Why wood is used? For making so much of furnitures, for burning in the to produce heat. Wood is being used for hot water purpose, for boiler purpose, sometimes in kitchens also. Nowadays they replace it by LPG gas. And also water, energy of water is being used for many purpose, like drinking purpose, washing clothes, agriculture purpose, even for boating and so on. Fossil fuels. Just now I told you there are three important fossil fuels like coal, petroleum and natural gas. So these are used for heating purpose and also for making machines to work. So this is some of the examples where energy is being made use of. Without energy, our body would be unable to perform functions like respiration. What is respiration? Inhaling oxygen gas. See the wonderful mechanism of the body. I don't know whether you can understand what I am telling. See, for every day we breathe about 21,600 times. So let us be grateful to God who has created us, who is looking after us. Even the breath what we take inside, whether it comes out or not, we don't know. Only if He wills, it comes out. The body temperature, the digestion, the thinking power of the brain, the talking power of the mouth, the hearing power of the ears, the seeing power of the eyes, the actions done in the hands, legs, so on and so forth. All this circulation of blood. See what a wonderful mechanism. If you cut any part of the body, you will not get the chapati or roti, etc. What we are eaten. But what are you getting? We get blood. How it is made? That is again a transformation of energy. Food is made into blood, and this blood is circulated. About 4.5 liters of blood is there in body, which goes all the parts of our body. And your digestion, whatever food you eat, the water you drink or liquids what you take, all this is giving energy for us. All the activities of day-to-day life is based on energy, and energy is being supplied in the form of food. When you say food, it need not be only what you consume in mouth. Oxygen also is a kind of food, is it not? So here you must note some important point. Amount of energy used by society is an indicator of its economic growth and development. When you say society here means, for example, if you have nuclear plants are one of the sources of energy. Similarly, you have hydroelectric plants where coal energy is being made use of into converted into electricity. All this shows the economic growth of a nation. And so there is what is called as conservation of energy. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be transformed from one form to another. Heat can be converted into light. Electricity can be converted into light. Solar energy can be converted into light energy, and so on. So that is called as conservation of energy, which you already studied in the previous class. This also you have already seen it. Just for recalling the things we are writing again. Source of energy that will get depleted means get exhausted someday, are said to be exhaustible or non-renewable source of energy, fossil fuels, nuclear energy, etc., etc. What is nuclear energy? It is the energy produced from a nucleus of an atom. What does the nucleus contains? Nucleus contains two particles called as protons and neutrons. And there is some energy within the protons and neutrons. If another neutron of a suitable velocity are made to hit these protons, enormous amount of energy is released. That is what is called as nuclear energy, which you are going to study in the next class. It is an example for nuclear fission. And the source of energy that can be regenerated are called as renewable source of energy. Energy from the sea, solar energy, wind energy, and so on. They can be regenerated. They can be got again. So this is a very interesting phenomenon. We already studied about that. Now let us go some details about fossil fuels. So fossil fuels like coal, petroleum and natural gas are important renewable sources of energy. We have been using this to generate heat, light and electricity. They are the most important uses of this for various purposes. These are the primary sources for generating electrical energy in the world today. Over 85% of our energy demands are met by the combustion of fossil fuels. Carbon is the main constituent of these fossil fuels. So 85% of energy demands are met by the fossil fuels. Why are they called fossil fuels? Because they are formed beneath the earth's surface, within the earth's surface. How they are formed? They are formed due to enormous heat and pressure inside the earth's crust. And what is the source there? It may be of plants buried, is it not? So millions of years ago, the formation of fossil fuels, remains of dead plants and animals, big trees and some big animals, when they are buried under the ground. So after millions of years, what happens? By the action of heat and pressure within the earth's crust. So what happens? The rock and soil, these buried decomposed organic materials have been converted into fossil fuels. What are fossil fuels? They are nothing but coal, petroleum, natural gas. Very important, that's why I am writing again and again. Don't forget. So they are formed within the earth. How to take it out? They are taken out in the form of mines, and they are called mines by using proper dredging materials. For example, coal is formed by a process called coalification, similar to the formation of fossil fuels. Coalification. Here these are solid. Coal is a solid. That happens because of the high temperature and pressure within the earth's crust. And all the plants and animals which are buried under the earth form what are called as coal. And almost all countries of the world except North Antarctica and South Antarctica, almost all places of the world has very good source of coal. And this coal is very essential for the formation of or for converting into electricity. Now there are different types of coal such as peat, lignite, bituminous and subbituminous coal. 4 types. One is called peat, second lignite, third is bituminous, subbituminous. These are the 4 types of coal. And this coal is obtained in the earth's crust. Say this is the mines, what I was telling too. So this is coal mines, and this coal is being transferred by a very big, huge type of JCBs or Hitachis and so on. And that is how it been taken. In India also we have got very good number of coal mines. We have very good number of coal, factories extracted and transferred. So this is how coal is being transferred. So let us see the details about the 4 kinds of coal. For example, the first one is peat. It's a mass of dead and decomposed plant matter. It was just like an alternate for wood. So peat is a form of coal which gives lot of heat when it is heated. Okay, then you have lignite. It's a brownish rock, contains recognizable plant matter and has a relatively low calorific value. What is calorific value? It is a value or it is a measurement of the heat produced for a fixed quantity of the fuel taken. Okay. So you have subbituminous coal, a shade of dull black. This is a brownish and this is black. So dull black with very little visible plant matter. And bituminous coal is the best quality of coal. In all this, we have one important substance that is called carbon. Carbon is a very important element present in all type of coal. So bituminous coal is a very rich quality of coal. It is jet black and very dense and brittle, high calorific value. What do you mean brittle? Brittle means breakable. When you make it fall, for example, glass is there. You make it fall, what happens? It breaks, right? That is called brittleness. Okay. Now shall we see the type of coal once, how it looks like. So this is how it looks like. So anthracite, peat, you have lignite, anthracite, bituminous, and this is subbituminous. So different types of coal that are found in the bowels of the earth. It has to be extracted and a lot of care is to be taken while extracting, because there will be poisonous gases also, like carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and sometimes nitrogen peroxide, sulfur dioxide, etc. etc. So these gases, especially carbon monoxide, is a poisonous gas. So many people will be having health issues and some of them will die also. So while extracting from the bowels of the earth. So a very good source of energy, and these are different types of coal. Now let us see how coal is made use of to get electricity. First of all, in coal power plant, coal is burnt in large furnaces. Can you name one of the plants in Karnataka where lot of coal is converted into electricity? Yes, it is in Raichur. What is it called? It's called thermal power plant. Is it not? And what they do there? They convert the coal into electrical energy. Is it not? So first thing is they burn the coal in large furnaces. Second thing is, while burning you get a tremendous amount of heat, and that heat produced is used for boiling water. So what does the water do? So because of the boiling water you get what is called as steam. And the steam so produced expands, causing pressure to increase in the boiler. So there will be increase in the pressure. And steam turbine is placed at the exit of the boiler so that the moving steam rotates the turbine. So the turbine rotates. In this process, energy of the moving steam gets converted into mechanical energy. So when the steam comes fast, because of the speed and also pressure, the turbines rotate. These turbines rotate, produce electricity. So here the coal energy is converted into electric energy. So there is a transfer of energy. It is one of the important, richest source of production of electricity in India and also in abroad. Now let us see the beautiful thermal power plant in Raichur, that is called as Karnataka Power Plant. Okay, this is how you see from outside. So this is where a lot of heat is produced, and that is cooled by means of what is called as zigzag pipes will be there, and these are called furnaces, big furnaces. There are some disadvantages also in this process, which we will study after some time. Okay, so this is the photo of a Karnataka power plant situated in Raichur, and the name of the place is Shakti Nagar. Those who are nearby can go once. Very beautiful and very prestigious. The students of Karnataka especially should never miss this to see it, and you will be allowed also with permission of proper persons. You should go with the elders and you can enjoy inside, and lot of things you can learn from that also. Anyway, it is one of the important production of electricity. So the rotating turbine is used to spin a magnet, and this magnet, helps the movement of the magnet helps for production of electricity, what is called as generator. What is generator? Generator is a device which converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. Is it not? The current that is produced is used for mechanical energy. So electricity so produced is then sent to national power grid. Grid means where the power is distributed to all the places. So the electrical energy that is produced in the power plant in Raichur is being sent to many parts of Karnataka and outside. Okay. The third important is called as natural gas. It's also a fossil fuel. It's also major source are there. It is also produced together with petroleum. When you extract petroleum, natural gas also comes. And methane is the common gas found in the swamps and is also a byproduct of animals' digestive system. It is a cleaner compared to the burning of gasoline. When petrol burns, a lot of smoke is produced. Is it not? But whereas natural gas is eco-friendly, it is very cleaner. And you might have heard in Delhi, city like Delhi, they use what is called as CNG. You might have heard the worst polluted city. Of course, you can say one of the worst. There are so many like that in Delhi. And the pollution is at the highest peak there. Now the government has taken decision that you should use only compressed natural gas, neither petrol nor diesel. This compressed natural gas will not give smoke. CNG, that is used in vehicles, and it's a very good replacement for petrol and diesel. This is also one of the important fossil fuel. Okay, and now let us see advantages from fossil fuels. Generation of energy, number one, like kinetic energy. And fossil fuel technology, why is easy and relatively cost also is less compared to others. Fossil fuels have a very high calorific value. What is calorific value? It is a measurement of the energy that is being used in percentages. So the calorific value is very high, and this can generate a huge amount of electricity in just a single location. If I said about Raichur, like that there are so many places in India where electricity is being produced. So in one place, single location means one place, you get a lot of current will be produced. And the transportation of fossil fuels to the power stations is easy. For example, in Raichur, they get from many parts of India. Coal will come, especially from Andhra. So transportation is easy. And even the petroleum is sent to different parts by pipelines. Petroleum produced, for example, there in Mangalore, there is one factory of petroleum. And this petroleum that is obtained is transported by means of pipelines and sometimes in lorries, trains, and so on. And the power plants that utilize gas are very efficient. Gas here refers to natural gas. So construction of power plants is easy in any location. Only thing is you should have a very good water resources, and you should create an environment, or you should grow more and more trees. Why should you grow trees? Because the gases that are produced like carbon dioxide, etc., will be absorbed by the plants. So these are some of the advantages of fossil fuels. Now let us see some disadvantages. Major disadvantage is pollution. So the gases like carbon dioxide produces what is called as global warming. What is global warming? Heating of the Earth's surface. Why it happens? Because of production of carbon dioxide being more, and what is called as greenhouse effect also is there. Greenhouse effect. So global warming, greenhouse effect are some of the dangers or disadvantages of fossil fuels, where the temperature of the earth will be increased, and the people for living, animals, birds or human beings, find it very difficult to live in the planet. Next is supply of fossil fuels is limited. Just now I was telling you about that petroleum will come to a stop in a span of 30 to 35 years. Then what shall we do? That's why nowadays you find lot of solar plants. Solution they have found out, as a solar is one of the best uses for that. So anyway, it is limited. Even gas also, you might have heard about the shortage of petroleum products, and also gas like LPG gas, what you are using in home. What is the expansion of LPG? Liquid petroleum gas. So the demand is very high, but supply is less. So that is also another disadvantages, and it will be replenished quickly. So extraction of fossil fuels has resulted in the destruction of wide areas of land and endangered the environmental balance. Means thousands of birds, animals, creatures are troubled when the fossil fuels are extracted. So the environment balance also is affected. Means the air surrounding that mines will not be pure. The water what you drink will not be pure. So there will be a lot of disadvantages or dangers as far as the fossil fuels is concerned. Mining of fossil fuels is dangerous, which sometimes endangers the lives of miners because of the poisonous gases like carbon monoxide. Those who work in mines, the health will be affected, find lot of dangers. Okay, so these are some of the disadvantages. Use of natural gas can cause unpleasant smell. So natural gas will use unpleasant smell in that area. So these are some of the disadvantages of fossil fuels. Now let us see some of the home assignment. Name any 4 non-renewable sources of energy and give at least one advantages of each. What are the limitations of using natural gas for meeting our energy requirement? Okay, come prepared. Thank you.